Good morning. See, now I'm going to discuss about gout. What is gout? Gout is a condition where the uric acid levels in the blood is increases. Whenever the uric acid levels in the blood increases, the excess uric acids are simply urates which are present in the blood gets accumulated in the joints. Especially it appears at big toe. So simply the gout is accumulation of uric acid levels in the joints. See, in this condition, the uric acid levels which are high in the blood will accumulated around the joints and especially at the big toe. This uric acid also accumulates in the synovial fluid. This synovial fluid is present in between the joints. So, because of this excess uric acid levels, the accumulation of this uric acid or simply the urates will take place at the joints. That condition is called as gout. How this uric acid is produced in our body? This uric acid is the metabolites of purine. So the metabolism of purines will get excuse me, the metabolism of purines will produce uric acid in our physiological system. See, purines are the parts of the basis, the nitrogenous basis of nucleic materials in our DNA. Sorry, the nucleic materials in our physiological system. See, these purines, when they undergo metabolism, ultimately the final metabolite produced is uric acid. See, just take a look about purine metabolism. Purine gets converted into hypoxanthine. This hypoxanthine gets converted into xanthine. This xanthine gets converted into uric acid. This is the final product of metabolism of purines. So, whenever these uric acid levels are increased in the blood, they will get accumulated in the joints or surrounding tissues which are present near the joints. That condition is called as gout. So, hyperuricemia means increased levels of uric acid will leads to the or will causes gout. See, in gout, always the uric acid levels in the physiological system are very high. This thing happens. In case of gout, the uric acid levels in the blood will be always high, but the increased urate levels in blood always does not causes gout. Excuse me. So basically the point is, whenever the uric acid levels are increased in the blood, that condition is called as hyperuricemia. Increased levels of uric acid in the blood. Accumulation of this excess uric acid levels in the joints or tissues are called as gout. Especially in gout, the symptoms appears at big toe and external ear. Ear కాదురా వారి external ear. See, coming to metabolism of purine once again, the purine gets metabolized finally into the uric acid. This metabolism into the uric acid is promoted by the enzymes like xanthine oxidase. So this xanthine oxidases will helps in the conversion of these intermediate metabolites of the purine metabolism into the final metabolite, that is uric acid. If we inhibit this xanthine oxidase, the conversion into uric acid or the production of uric acid is inhibited. So xanthine oxidase inhibitors are used in the treatment of gout. We have one more point, that is, whenever the person or the patients suffering with gout, they have intermittent attacks of arthritis. What is mean by arthritis? Inflammation of the joints. That inflammation of joints is a primary symptom in the gout. So whenever there is an inflammation, there is increased levels of prostaglandins and cytokines and increased WBCs in the blood. Sorry. So the increased prostaglandins, cytokines will causes this inflammation. To relieve the symptoms of this inflammation in this gout, we are also using anti-inflammatory agent. Anti-inflammatory agents. These anti-inflammatory agents are used to relieve the symptoms of inflammation. Steroidal anti-inflammatory agents like hydrocortisone and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents like ibuprofen or naproxen. Ibuprofen, naproxen, or any other drugs like aceclofenac, paracetamol, these agents are used, right, for the relieving the symptoms of inflammation. See, what are the examples for these xanthine oxidase inhibitors? The example is allopurinol. This allopurinol is mainly used as prophylactic agent. So, this allopurinol is mainly used as prophylactic agents, and the anti-inflammatory agents are used like NSAIDs and steroids like hydrocortisone. See, along with these drugs, another agents are also used. They are the agents which increases the excretion of uric acids. See, whenever there is an increased excretion of uric acids in the physiological system, there is less availability of uric acid or urates in the blood. So there is less chances of accumulation of these urates in the joints. So reduced symptoms of or decreased symptoms of gout will appears by using the agents which are able to increase the excretion of uric acids or urates from the body. These agents are called as uricosuric agents. Uricosuric agents. Uricosuric agents. Examples for these uricosuric agents are probenecid and sulfenpyrazole. Probenecid, sulfenpyrazole. See, generally this gout is also produced by the administration of drugs, that is called as drug induced gout or drug induced hyperuricemia. Mainly this drug induced gout is because of the administration of several anti-cancer agents. See, these anti-cancer agents acts on the purines, especially these anti-cancer agents controls the cell division, cell proliferation. So by inhibiting the DNA synthesis, nucleic acid synthesis, these agents will participate in treatment of cancer. So the nucleic materials are made up of purine bases and pyrimidine bases. Actually, they have to participate in the formation of DNA or RNA. Because of the inhibition of those steps, those purines are excessively present in the blood. Increased levels of purines in blood. This increased levels of purine in blood causes or increases the uric acid levels in blood because purines gets metabolized into the uric acids. So whenever there is an increased availability of purines in the blood is there, there is also an increased uric acid levels are present in blood. So in treatment of gout, allopurinol, which inhibits xanthine oxidase enzyme, is used, and uricosuric agents like probenecid, sulfenpyrazone, and see, whenever there is accumulation of these uric acid levels at the joints, see, for example, this is a joint. In the joint, synovial fluid is present. Our uric acid will accumulate here and forms these inflammations. These uric acids are present in the form of crystals. See, whenever these crystals are accumulated around the joints, our leukocytes will comes here and they tries to phagocytize. They try to phagocytize the uric acid crystals. So there is an increased formation of leukocytes or increased accumulation of leukocytes at this joint also takes place. This migration of leukocytes from the other place to the joints will also causes inflammation. This migration of leukocytes into the joints is inhibited by the drugs like colchicine. So the drugs used in the gout treatment are allopurinol, probenecid, sulfenpyrazone, colchicine, and our anti-inflammatory drugs like NSAIDs and steroids like hydrocortisone. See, due to the excess production of or excess availability of uric acid or urics in the blood, they not only binds with the or they not only accumulates in the joints, they also forms kidney stones. So there is a condition like nephrolithiasis or urolithiasis also observed. Urolithiasis also observed in case of excess urates. See, along with this allopurinol, we have one more drug is there, that is febuxostat. It also binds to the xanthine oxidase enzyme and inhibits that enzymatic activity. Right. This is something little bit about gout. You once refer the book. If you have any doubts, you can call me. My number is at 01944185. Thank you. All the best for your examinations.